That's so interesting, everything you're saying, because I think through my journey, as I've been learning a lot about meditation and like self healing, I meet people now and I'm like, oh, this person just flows. And you're one of them. Like instantly when I met you, I was like, how can I be her? Because you just flow. Like it's so easy to talk to you. I'm so intrigued by your background, everything.
You.
I really think you're a true inspiration to
Mm.
all women. So thank
Oh,
you for
thank
being you and for
you.
creating such a
Thank
beautiful
you.
space.
Oh.
Um, Besides hearing, your what's in your toolbox, etc., how do you balance everything? Like, how do you go about your day
Yeah,
flowing?
yes.
Because you do.
Yes, it is one of those things that intention is so important. And so I try to do that as much as I can. And when you do that, I think it simplifies things. So if it is just like, in the car ride, the intention is to just have some gratitude
Mm,
or look around. We live in beautiful LA, and it's so easy to be like, oh, the traffic or this and that. But there's also other things that we can look at. And
palm
so
trees,
the
yeah.
palm trees, the sunshine, and just being grateful of like, gosh, I'm in an amazing city and I'm, up and starting this day and I actually feel good. And so some of it is work where it is kind of reframing a little bit or reminding myself of the things that make me feel good. So some of the things I think are a choice in what we think about or the perception or the narrative. We can always try to make a different choice. I think reflection is so important. So, where I take the time to kind of be quiet and just sit with that. And I think that for me gets rid of a lot of the stuff. A
Mm,
lot of the stuff that can just be stress and that you just carry with you. There's I try to let a lot go, and then it's just habits too. Like I said, it's trying to go to bed at a good time. So it's prioritizing things that feel good, and trying to balance that with like not perfection, but you know what, if I'm eating 80% of what I'm eating, I'm being mindful about, or trying to make a better choice, then it's like, okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. If I'm in the mornings trying to get moving and walk for 45 minutes and that feels good, and I'm listening to podcasts or I'm listening to meditations or whatever it is, I know it's good for me and it feels good. And I know it just sets the day off right. So there is the way I start and end the day are important to me. And then it's the check-ins throughout the day. So how I start and how I end, if I can integrate a little bit of that, even a minute or two kind of throughout the day, and it can just be like, let me just check and see how my shoulders are. Let's just do that. And then that's a reminder of like, you know what? Take this moment and feel relaxed or just pause. And you just get into that habit more and more. And then slowly that becomes, a little bit of the baseline. And I wish I could say I'm there all the time. I'm not, but it is something that I try to keep a pulse on for sure.
One of the things that I'm discovering and trying to figure out is definition of stillness and what that
Mm-hmm.
means to people and what that means to me.
Yeah.
So it's for you, is it, I guess, pausing and going inward and
Yeah.
seeing where you're at, where your
Yeah.
body's at, or
Stillness is, and when I think about meditation, I think that's the method to get to that place of stillness, which is where things kind of slow down. And for me, it's really about the detachment. So where I can kind of just sit and be the observer of my thoughts and have a different perspective, connect with myself. There's so much, like, you hear people sometimes saying that when they can go within, it's like going home. It's a really wonderful space. But we often can't get there because there's so much activity in our minds, so much activity that kind of trumps anything else. And so for me, it's about getting some distance from that activity. And then from there, I'm much more into what we refer to maybe as your intuition or your gut or your inner knowing, your inner being, which just feels good. And so it's about connecting with that. And that's where that stillness is kind of how I describe it. It's a detachment from all the activity that's going on, and it's going so much more within. And within there, it feels safe. It feels like I have more clarity, like I have more knowing. And yeah, and it's connecting again, I think, with what feels like the answers, or your gut knowing, your authenticity. And so sometimes where the mind and you're overthinking and you're doing all this, that's where I want the stillness. I want the stillness from that. I want the space from that, because going within is so much more rewarding than being up here.
Yeah, I feel like you need to write a book or something. I'm so intrigued. I could go on and on. No, but seriously, you should be writing a book. But like, what's next, actually? Yeah.
Oh gosh, I mean, I love the breathing room, and I love the community that we're forming, and it's a community for myself, so I'm so proud to be in it too. It's a community that I wanted, and the connections are just really neat. And I think, like, gosh, we've been open for some months, but the people that we've met and connected, and it just feels like this is amazing. The connections, and knowing that we're all kind of on this journey together, and what feels often like a very personal or alone journey, just knowing that, hey, we're all searching for some of this. We're all trying to get there. And if you're doing it with a community, but yet you're doing it in a personalized way, where you have both your solitude of when that's needed. Like I was saying, for me, I have to get quiet. I have to pause from everything else. So that's sacred to me. But at the same time, of having some connection around this journey that we're all on, and being able to connect like that is really wonderful, and I love seeing that. So I would love to have more locations. That would be the dream. That in the same way that you see like yoga studios and gyms on every other mile, it would be great to see the breathing room, or places like the breathing room.
Yeah, this is like gym for your brain.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. And then from there, it's just like, it just mixes so well with everything else. Like, if you are taking care of your mind, and you are doing that work, like you said, it's like going to the gym
at Saks Fifth Avenue. That's how it looks like. Or Restoration Hardware is what I like to call it.
Yeah, you may find that you have more resources, more internal resources, to want to find the motivation to go to the gym, to stick to other wellness goals and other things, other personal goals. So it's a place for all that transformation and that self-development too. But
Well, I'm excited for you. I know that it'll happen, and it's not going to happen just because you have a beautiful eye and taste and beautiful product, beautiful services, but mainly because of you. Like, you're such a kind, graceful, flowing person.
Thank you.
That I know the community is going to want to back you for sure.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you.
And I hope everybody goes onto Instagram, TVR Meditation.
Yes. Yep.
And also visits Miranda and her beautiful staff in Westwood.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.